somebody says bachata, you tend to think salsa or merengue. So, bachata was born back in the 70s, and it actually came from merengue. And it evolved from the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
So to where salsa, the music is a little bit more of a fast-paced. Bachata is seen more as a sensual dance.
Oh, okay.
I've been dancing for about 5 years.
5 years.
About 5 years in bachata. Prior to that, I practiced capoeira, and that's a Brazilian form of martial arts. And we incorporated different dances such as samba and all of that. So I've been dancing for a little bit longer than that, but bachata has been more on the 5-year mark.
Okay. And what are your goals in being able to teach bachata in the city and around the nation?
Okay, so I created this movement called Project Bachata. I don't think it belongs to me. It's a movement. So what I am trying to do is that I'm just trying to the word of what bachata is, to get more people to get more involved with it.
So is it like a workout type of thing, the movement, or is it just to bring people together to learn the actual?
It's to bring people to learn. So it isn't Zumba. So Zumba is can be a little bit of a workout.
Yeah.
But it's more of a dance. It's something that takes, although it seems very fun to dance, it takes a lot of technique.
Yes.
And it takes years to master it. So.
I'm kind of scared now. I have never really done partner dancing like that in terms of technical wise, and I want to go back to school to do that. But at the same time, it's kind of like when you dance with a partner, you have to trust that partner and be able to work with that person in terms of that type of dance. And I'm used to technical, which is ballet, jazz, hip hop, stuff like that. So how do you explain that when you're teaching to the beginners?
Okay, so bachata, you dance it with a partner. You can do it by yourself. There's what we call the footwork or shines, which is all the footwork that you can incorporate. But you do need a partner to do it. Okay. You can work on personal skills, but you need to rely on your partner, and your partner needs to rely on you. So there's a lot of communication, a lot of going back and forth. I view it as a conversation.
Okay.
So you ask a question, and somebody and that person that you're speaking with responds back.
Oh.
So you have to learn how to be a good lead, how to lead that person, and you also need to learn how to be a good follower as well. So you can't make it all about yourself. You have to communicate with your partner, and if you do it properly, then it looks beautiful.
Oh, I think we're gonna take some classes. He's like, nah. What opted you to want to dance and to want to teach?
Well, it started off, so I was a student at KU. I was a late bloomer, so I didn't have the funds to really pay for the classes. So I started off by learning online.
Oh,
but at
okay.
that time, there wasn't a lot of online material. But that's kind of where I got started. So after I kind of gained that momentum, I was able to join a dance academy where I did it more on a full-time basis. But I at least familiarized myself enough with the dance to really just to enjoy class more and not really start from scratch. So what I decided, so the way I got started with this was I just wanted to provide free training for just anybody to be able to access.
And that's online?
Yes. So if you go to youtube.com /Project Bachata, I have created a YouTube channel. Now, I do have a little background in computer graphics, graphic design, I'm sorry. So I was able to kind of spice up the videos a little bit by adding some text and an intro. But more than anything, I wanted to take what I had learned and make it available to everybody. So so you can go online and you can learn how to dance bachata. Okay, we do partner work. We try to keep our videos to about 5 minutes a piece. We think that anything more than 5 minutes is is too much. And we are continuing to upload videos. So by the end of the summer, we should have about a total of 30 to 40 videos. And we are going to make them available in Spanish as well, so English and Spanish.
Okay,
Yep.
so right now they're just in English?
Correct.
Okay. And so just for like people who really can't afford dance classes and stuff like that, that's another outlet for them to go on and learn.
Correct. So they're not really going to master the dance by watching the videos.
Yeah.
What they're going to do is they're going to initially learn those techniques. And eventually where you're going to get all of your practice is in the social scene.
Okay.
And if you want to get more serious, then yeah, eventually you'll have to get to a studio, and I highly recommend that because there's a large body of people that go there to dance as well, and you don't just learn how to dance with one person, you learn how to dance with everybody. So just with communication, let's say you are accustomed to talking to your partner and you guys are great at communication. Maybe the next person that you meet, that communication isn't quite there.
Okay.
So then you think to yourself, well, maybe I need to improve on my communication. And that's how you improve your technique, is by dancing with a lot of people. So.
Okay. And then this is offered in Kansas City?
This is offered in the Kansas City area. Right now we are in Shawnee at a little place called La Terraza. At the moment we're only teaching once a week, but we're looking to expand, depending on the crowd.
Okay. So when you talk bachata, okay, I'm Mexican American. I've always wanted to learn just different genres of dance, but not too comfortable like the social scene and stuff like that. I'm more of a homebody. If a person, I have a cousin who she's really shy, and she doesn't like to go out and do things. Is there like a place where she can go just to get like one-on-one lessons in the city? Like, she's been Googling not just that, but like hip hop and stuff like that, and she hasn't really found anything that offers just like one-on-one classes and stuff like that for them to be able to go to in terms of that type of dance.
Yeah, so we do also offer privates. What we do in our classes is that we consistently change partners.
Oh, okay.
And that way you don't just get too comfortable with one person, or if you are really uncomfortable dancing with a particular somebody, then we're constantly changing. So that's really everybody's barrier.
Yeah.
Everybody has that barrier, and I'm from Venezuela, so I come from a Latin culture. And, Hispanics in general don't have that issue. And I didn't think that I had that issue until I started to dance bachata, because bachata is a little bit more different than salsa.
Yes.
Salsa, it's a lot of turn patterns. You're not that close with your partner, but in bachata there are moments where you have to kind of burst that bubble and get into that comfort zone.
Yeah, I researched bachata. I mean, I knew kind of how to dance it, but it was kind of like, the type of stuff you would go and do at a club type of thing. It wasn't like you were like how I saw on the videos where they were really close. And you're right. In salsa, there is a lot of turns and, let go of your partner type of thing. And bachata is really really close with the partner. So, I love just to watch the videos and I love just listening to the music. The music is more calming to me in terms of, I like, aventura, just different genres of that particular bachata style. But I never knew that there was a specific type of dance until I actually researched it.
Right, so there's different subgenres in bachata. There's a traditional style, which is more footwork, more in an open position. There's the contemporary, and then there's the sensual bachata, which is the really close swaying bachata. Now, you don't have to learn one specific style.
Yeah.
You want to expand, and we definitely in our classes we do encourage you to expand on your dance. So we don't necessarily start. We show you the different types of positions that you can dance with your partner in, and then you can choose what position you dance in. So if you're not comfortable, and we also teach, respect, how to dance with somebody properly, not to cross the lines. If somebody does cross the line, what do you do? So we also do teach respect or that aspect of it, because we want you to be able to go out there socially and feel comfortable.
Yes.
And in the social scene, for the people who have been there for quite some time, a lot of women arrive by themselves because they know the scene, and they know that particular scene, that they're going to feel comfortable there.
Oh, that's good.
And I understand that it can be intimidating for newcomers, but it's a process when you're learning it.
Yes.
And that's where we come in. We provide those videos, those instructional videos online, but if you want to further your education, you can come to our classes.
Okay. And you said they're once a week?
They're once a week, Saturdays at 6 o'clock at La Terraza.
See, there you go. Do we have any people asking questions?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I can't see that far. I need glasses.
I'm posting it up, but we haven't had it, and I put the phone number in too.
Oh, okay. Okay, so next question. As being a teacher, do you teach all ages, or is it just the adults that you teach?
So at the moment, we provide classes for adults.
Okay.
But I do have a daughter who's very interested in learning, and I've been working with her closely. And if anybody is interested, let me know. Because we are looking to expand to kids' classes.
And when is too young? I know some of being a mom and a choreographer and a dancer and a dance teacher, I see a lot of stuff on television, a lot of stuff that's out there that's just really inappropriate for a 5-6-year-old, or and then you see ballroom, as a very strict competition, sport. Do you have like an age that you would start them at, like if they requested it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think that there's an age limit. I know that with my daughter, I try to keep the classes a little short because of her attention span. Most kids become interested, well, by most, I mean, mine, around that age of 8 or 9, where they're able to kind of pick the thing that they want to do.
Okay.
And at that point, I wouldn't even start with partner work. It would all be solo footwork,
Like
which
foot
is
individual.
yeah, that would be the place to start. So
Yeah, I saw a Latin ballroom competition on TV. It was actually on CNN, and the way their outfits were, their technique was just on point. I mean, it was just really extravagant. But that was one thing that I didn't see in there was the bachata. It was all like, salsa, rumba. I can't even remember the other ones that were.
right. Well, bachata is slowly leaving its mark. It started out in the Dominican Republic and spread to the United States. Right now, it's really popular in Europe and in Latin America. The sensual bachata actually derived from Europe, from Spain.
From Spain.
Yeah. So it's incredible to go online and see. We have something that we call congresses, which are big events. It's kind of where you go to train with all of these different instructors throughout the days. It can be a 2 or 3 day event, and then at nighttime it's a social dancing.
Okay.
It's a social gathering, and these congresses are held, once a year at that city, and they're
In Spain?
usually. No, just all the big cities like Chicago, Houston, St. Louis, L.A., and overseas as well. What's incredible is just going online and seeing that it's everywhere. In Asia, in India, out of all places.
Yeah.
So it's getting there.
I like it. I think it's something that is gonna evolve and get bigger over time. Dance is a very it thing right now in terms of just everything. I mean, you see it everywhere. And for you as a teacher and as a dancer, where do you see your dance career for now going forward?
Well, this is what Project Bachata is to me. It's exactly that. It's a project. And again, I want to emphasize that it's an open source project. So it's a project that anybody can latch on to. If they have the drive to want to learn. Me personally, every time that I teach, I learn something.
Okay.
Every time that I dance with with one of my students, I learn something, or I tweak my technique, or I do something with it. So as of the moment, I enjoy passing on my knowledge, because after you teach for a little bit, you kind of get to see your students step out in that social environment, and apply everything that you have taught them. So you can't help but feel a little proud at what you have kind of passed on.
Yeah.
So as a personal goal, as of the moment, is just to pass on as much knowledge as I can, because I learn every single day. So.
Yeah. Me being a business owner and working with different people and kids in particular, I love to see them grow. I love to see where they are 10 years from now, or I've been doing this a long time. I've had my first studio since 2002. So to see them actually grow and take this as a profession, do you ever think about getting some of your students into competitions and stuff like that?
Yes. So we also work with. We've teamed up with an event over at Voodoo. So Rumba Nights at the Voodoo, it's at Harris Casino. It's once a month. I can't give you a specific date because every month it's different. I think it's this month. It's the 31st of May. So it's they open up the doors at Voodoo, and they play a lot of it's all Latin music. So they play a little bit of everything. They throw in some bachata, some salsa, some cumbia, some reggaeton. And what DJ Rez has proposed is to, maybe get some of the students up on stage and perform a little something.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Now, I haven't taken a step in that direction as of the moment because this project is something that has recently come into light.
Okay.
So, we're not that far along to really set choreographs, but who knows, maybe by the end of summer, we might
get there.
Yeah, we might get there. So
I was just going to ask you where that was until he said where that was. I'm new to here, so I don't know, what's what or where it is, and but yeah, that sounds really good when it comes to just being able to teach and set your goals to where you want them to actually be. For me, I'm all about the kids, getting them off the streets, getting them out of trouble, and learning different genres, not just what's in. Take them out of their comfort zone just a little bit to be able for them to learn different stuff that they wouldn't be able to learn because of the fact that they come from the inner city, they can't afford it, stuff like that. And that's why I do what I do, and that is to be able to bring the dance to them at a low cost because it, of the area and where they're from. Did you have any questions? Did they have any questions?
No.
Okay.
No questions yet. If any of you guys have questions, feel free to ask away.
Yes. So, but yeah, I think just in general, being able to bring that bachata into children who cannot afford classes, who cannot afford to be able to take those things, but then can say later on in life, well, hey, I took a few lessons or even a year of Latin dance or bachata, or whether it be salsa, whether it be whatever, they have that opportunity to do that.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan. The Latin community here in Kansas City, or at least the social dancing aspect of it, is pretty great. We have a couple of locations throughout Kansas City that open up on different days, so you can really pick to go social dancing whenever you want to. If you get to go out and experience it, you'll see that everybody who steps out on that dance floor doesn't just have knowledge of just one type of dance. They're on the dance floor the whole night.
Oh, wow.
Once you fall into, let's say, salsa, then you can't help but fall into bachata, and you can't help, falling into, let's say cumbia or merengue as well.
Yes.
And vice versa. So you kind of that's how you kind of develop your own style, is by dancing, and that's something that we encourage, is that you go out and you dance, not just learn how to do one thing, but learn different dances, because you never know what you can bring from one dance over to
the other. Okay. Well, we're almost out of time. We have a 30-minute show.
Has it been 30 minutes already?
Oh, yeah. When you start talking about dance, it goes so fast. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, so I really appreciate you coming by and showing us that there's not only just, hip-hop out there or ballet out there. There's other stuff in Kansas City that, people can actually go out and do. One of my my friends from work, she always goes out and she always tells me, you need to come, and I'm like, no. I'm just, like I said, a homebody. By the time I'm done with my work and done with, you know, everything else, it's like all I want to do is go to sleep. That's just it. But yeah, I do appreciate it. Now everybody in Kansas City knows you can get some bachata classes out there, and also just go and have some fun and learn some dances. And also he has his YouTube page, you know, where he gives free lessons if they can't afford it. But definitely go take his class. I'm gonna talk my boyfriend into go taking a class. He's probably not gonna like it much, but you know, we're gonna do our best. I do thank KUAW for letting us have our show every week at 3 o'clock. We will have another special guest next week at 3. That one is going to be a secret. I'm going to leave it up until the last minute just to let everybody know what our special guest is going to be. And I thank Enrique. I thank you for coming on and
No, thanks for having me on.
And now we're going to look for Project Bachata out there and, you know, get it together.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Just been listening to Talking Dance Moves with April, and we're so glad that you joined us. Be sure and join us here every Sunday.
I think so.
Be sure and join us every Sunday every Saturday. Excuse me, I'm distracted. Every Saturday from 3 to 3:30.